Despite the rain, I am so grateful to be able to live in central London with so much history on my footsteps, so many things to do, and an amazing network of other people to be able to connect and to collaborate with. But it hasn't always been this way. In fact, in this video here, I used to have to wake up, it's about 5:45 now, just to be able to... Here's my stuff that I got ready last night. I've just got my gym bag and then all my stuff from work. And then I had a 1.5 hour commute just to get to my office. I just got to work. Not to mention my way back home. I just got off the train. Now I'm just walking back to my car, which is parked at the gym from this morning. Oh, I can't wait to get home. I'm absolutely shattered after today. So yeah, that long commute meant that I literally didn't get to live my life. It's now about 8 PM and I am going to bed. Yeah, so you best believe that my social life was in the dumps. So is the trade-off of spending more money to be in central London worth it? Well, I'm inviting you to join me and find out. So the first thing, fun fact about Londoners. Pretty much nobody here has a car. London has one of the most advanced train systems. Anyone that lives here will know that by now. You can literally take the tube and get from here to there in a really short period of time, and it is so cheap. You have that, there are buses, which literally cost £1 to ride, and the old famous Boris bike. So the Prime Minister, who was the Mayor of London for a long time, introduced this whole biking system, and he bloody loves cycling.
And while Mayor of London was known to ride his bike to work.
Boris Johnson, yeah, the bicycle guy.
You get to ride for 30 minutes for free, then after that the price is so low. Now, despite all the amazing public transport that we have here, I honestly prefer to just walk everywhere. So one thing that I need is a comfortable pair of shoes. So I invest £160 for the Adidas Ultra Boost. These shoes, yes. Ultra Boost 20, these are the best when it comes to trainers. So comfortable, I cannot even tell you. Definitely needed when you are walking around London all day long. Old ones, new ones. I'll leave a link to the most comfortable ones down below because there are a few different designs, and I would say on average I probably get a new pair of these every 2 months. So slash that in 2, that is my transportation price. Something else that I do a couple of times per month, so not on a weekly basis, but it kind of averages out, is I will go and get either a wax or a sugaring. I did just get out the shower, so... And a couple times a week, I do have one particular lunch spot that I like to go to. £9 for a poke bowl in central London. It really doesn't feel too bad, but it's the other things where you get hit. Like when you go into a supermarket, because London doesn't have so many big supermarkets, especially when you're central. It has like the little Tesco Express. So that's where you get stung. So I eat a bag of frozen blueberries a day, and then I often get fresh ones as well as watermelon, and then on average I eat a pot of Alpro yogurt every other day. And as well as that, I probably go through a couple of pints of coconut milk each week. So they're my staples because I have my macro meals. So on average, I'd say I spend around £50 on food, but I can't really comment because there are other things like snacks and popcorn. It really does vary, this one. So let's put it between £50 to £100. One of my biggest and most important expenses is my food. So every 2 weeks, I get a delivery of 30 meals from Macro Meals. They're an absolute lifesaver. And so each time with delivery included, it comes out to just under £200. When I worked in asset management in central London, something they used to do in Boots was every Monday this meal deal that you could get for £1. A like sushi platter, a bag of popcorn and a drink for £1. And that was because of the mobile network provider that I was on. So you can find some good deals like that, but they're pretty few and far between. And let me tell you, the food there is not that good. It is nowhere near as good as what I'm about to tuck into here. And if I'm going back home to visit my family, it's about £15, which is around $20. And the cool thing is that you can pay with a contactless card. So if you have the little symbol there, or that thing, or if you have Apple Pay on your phone, you can literally just use that, swipe in and out, whether it's a bus or a train. So I go to visit my family probably twice per month. So getting out of the city is also really affordable. Took a taxi out of the city and just come to my hometown where I grew up. Always used to go for walks here. But anyways, the cab was this much. And I actually really like this taxi company in London. So they have like a referral code that anyone can get, but I'm gonna put mine on the screen and leave it linked in the description so you can use it, get some free rides. Yeah, anyways, just enjoying myself. But it's funny just going into supermarkets back here, seeing how significantly different the pricing is. We get ripped in London. I love my dentist way too much. So what you're watching right now is me having part of my Invisalign treatment done. So they're pretty much putting on little sticky things, which means that my teeth are able to change shape with these invisible braces. Now, the dentist that I go to is called my healthcare clinic, and it's a private doctor and dental practice. So Invisalign isn't something that I'm obviously paying for every single week. We can do the average calculations towards the end. Another thing this week that I had was I went to Jones & PAYNE in Shoreditch to get my hair done. Now the difference in price between central London hairdressers versus hairdressers outside of London is pretty significant, but I'm telling you, look at this hair right now. It is definitely worth the extra expense. I guess the best hairdressers come to London, and I'm not complaining because I think it's worth every single penny right there. But that's just about where it ends. So the average cost per person to live in central London is around £1,700, which is more than 2K US dollars. So if you're on an average salary, which in the UK is this, then obviously living in central London is pretty much out of the picture, because how are you gonna pay for food? And so I know a lot of people are gonna be wondering, how much am I spending on a 3-bedroom apartment here in Shoreditch, which comes with a concierge service, a gym, and also a cinema. So hit that subscribe because that's going to be coming next. But to give you an idea, if I was to calculate the rent plus all of my normal expenses, not including like the Invisalign, which you can see here, and not including like the haircuts and stuff, this is how much I'd be spending, taking into account having 2 sugar rings a month and then 1 haircut a month. So if you can guess how much my rent is, comment that down below. So according to some fun facts that I found, London is more expensive than 95% of other cities, and it's the 12th most expensive to live in the world. And so given that my family lives so close to London, I mean, I'm still 23 years old, so most people my age kind of still live with their families. The question is it worth the investment? I'm in a position where I'm very, very grateful to my former self for the decisions that I made to set my life up in a way where I'm able to have access to this type of opportunity, because this investment is a very small amount of what my company generates per month. So for me, it makes so much sense because I'm able to save time, and time is the one thing that we have in this life that is more precious than money. So I value this more than I value my money, but would it be worth it for someone who is getting paid this exact amount a month to be breaking even? Honestly, I would say yes, because so much opportunity comes up in central London with the people that you meet. And I believe that relationship capital is everything. the amount of energy that you save through not having to commute everywhere. That was the one thing that killed me when I was working in my office job. It was horrendous. And it's funny because I then had another job in influencer marketing, which was about a 2-minute walk from where I'm at now. I would have had so much more time to have been building my business. I would have had more energy to be building my business. So if you make this much per month, absolutely live in central London or right next to where you work, because then you have more hours in the day to focus on the thing that you want to be doing into the long term. And so how about if you're making slightly less than that? Would it still be worth going into a little bit of debt? Again, that depends upon your opinion. If you're trying to build a business, you need to take on risk. And so I would say absolutely. For me, this is amazing. I love the fact that I can have an office in one room, a bedroom in another room, and a guest room too, as well as my living area, but you'll be seeing that in the next video. So yeah, London is expensive. When I go out to other places, it's kind of nice because I get to have a breath of fresh air and I'm like, oh my goodness me, this is so cheap. If you're coming to London to visit, be prepared for a shock. If you're going to be moving here, then just realize that that's a part of it. But wages are higher in central London. And if you have a business, obviously, I mean, I don't need to be here. I can do my job anywhere in the world, which is why I like to travel a lot. That's also a lot of what you'll see here on my channel. But I love living in central London. I love the people. I love the lifestyle. Ultimately, I want to move to the US, but that's it from me for now. So I'll see you in the next video whereby I'm going to be showing you an apartment tour.